would be.
Microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2.
This is Raiders football. We welcome you to Sun Devil Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona, on the campus of Arizona State University, where tonight the Oakland Raiders come calling on the hometown Arizona Cardinals. And hello again, everybody. Barry Tompkins once more with the coach, Hank Stram. And Hank, last week Raiders got their feet wet down in Dallas, but tonight it's got to get a little bit more serious.
Well, they better learn how to swim tonight, because this is a tune-up job tonight. They're getting ready for the season gradually from here on in. I think they have to feel good about the way they ran the ball last week for 168 yards or 178 yards, passed for 240. It was a great afternoon, and they got to do another good job tonight.
Well, you speak of the pass, and of course they're going to have their number one A1 guy out there tonight, Jeff Hostetler, who watched the game like you and I last week.
Well, I think he felt good about the fact that he could sit back and watch it and watch the preseason game and be able to play today. He's looking forward to playing 12 to 16 plays, and I think he's going to be very, very efficient.
Well, he's going to be looking at a very different team. The Arizona Cardinals, of course, with a new coach in Vince Tobin and a new quarterback as well, but a familiar face.
Well, it's a good combination because Vince Tobin is one of the outstanding defensive coaches in the National Football League. Boomer Esiason is an excellent quarterback, has been for an extended period of time. He gives them the leadership on the field. He's a fine passer. Their offense is going to be greatly improved, so they're going to be better.
So we're going to be seeing the first-line players for both teams, at least early in the ball game, but there is a bottom line for both these coaches, and that is develop solid backups. And that tonight, more than anything else, will be the name of the game. We'll be back with the start of today's game following these messages. Sellout on hand, Hank, for this preseason game. Folks obviously taking the time to do something else on this 98-degree night here in the desert. It won't be like that when things get started for real, I can promise you that.
No, that's right. When the bullets start flying, there'll be a lot of people here, a lot of hotness in the air today, so they're in a swimming pool, I think.
Well, I'll tell you what, and the fact that there aren't that many people in here actually makes this facility hotter. Those are metal seats or aluminum seats all the way around. When there's a lot of bodies in here, that heat doesn't radiate off of there, but as it is tonight, where it's only about half full, it's going to be plenty hot down on the playing surface. You were down there a little bit earlier. You could speak to that.
Well, you know, the surprising thing about it was I was down in the field with Al Davis and some of the players and that kind of thing, and the breeze was very, very comfortable. A lot better than I thought it would be.
They say 98 degrees, and the classic, it's a dry heat. Are you buying into any of that?
A lot of hotness in the air, that's all I know. Steam heat.
Greg Davis will kick it off for the Arizona Cardinals. He'll be kicking it to Orlando Truitt, who came off a very good game in Dallas, and Kenny Shedd. This is headed for Truitt at about the 4-yard line. To the 10, starts back the middle of the field, tries to get wide, and is not going to get outside. Good contain that time by Marcus Dowdle. So the Raiders will start deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. Jeff Hostetler, we expect to put the ball up early, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why. Harvey Williams and Napoleon Kaufman will be the two running backs, and they will split one of them out, bring one in motion to one side or the other. And I think we can look for Hostetler to put it up early and probably put it up often in his first outing of the year.
Well, I think the other thing that's important about that is, you know, you got two running backs, so you're going to play with 4 defensive backs. You put him in motion. Now you put a lot of pressure on the defense. Is it going to be a linebacker, or are you going to have to put him the 6th back? So the 5th back. So it's a problem.
Hostetler going up on first down, took a shot as he unloaded the ball, caught by Brown, a gain of 5. But Hostetler went down awkwardly. It was Garth Jacks making the tackle, and there was nothing dirty about that tackle. Here's a look at the lineups. Harvey Williams, it is not Joe Aska in the ball game. It is Harvey Williams right now, along with Napoleon Kaufman. As we said, Rocket Ismail will play tonight, as Jet will not start, will not play. Tim Brown and Ricky Dudley will be the other receivers. Robert Jenkins, Wisniewski, Turk, Gogan, and Harlow along the offensive line. Second down and 5. And this time again, they bring Williams on the wing. And the give is to Kaufman. Kaufman trying to get outside. He can at the 20. Nice comeback block, and he's going to have a first down. Tim Brown gave him a key block to spring Kaufman for a gain of 5. And it's going to be close to the first down.
And that's the nice thing about Brown. He blocks downfield, and it's vitally important for the outside receivers to be able to block a defensive back.
Here's a look at the way the defense lines up for the Cardinals. Bankston with Mamalonga getting a start tonight. Bernard Wilson and Clyde Simmons, the veteran, along the defensive line. Irving Jackson Miller will be the linebacker. Seth Joyner, Eric Hill, we do not expect to play tonight. Aeneas Williams, arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, with Brown, Darby, and Alexander. And we will have a measurement, and I believe it's going to be short by a couple of inches. And now we will see Joe Aska for the first time as the Raiders go with a bona fide fullback, and Napoleon Kaufman will come out.
And they do that because they want to make sure that Aska is a good blocker and does something if they decide to run on short yardage. If that's what the situation is, they want a big guy to be able to block that linebacker or block a linebacker in the hole or whoever might be in that area.
3 tight ends as well for the Raiders. Ricky Dudley, Marcus Hinton, and Andrew Glover all in the ballgame. They've been Glover up on the wing. In fact, make that Dudley up on the wing. And they'll go out of the I formation with Williams, the up back. And they give it to Williams. Stutter steps, has the first down, a gain of about 3.
Very good blocking at the point of attack. Open up enough of a seam for Harvey Williams to be able to run through there with his head up and his eyes open, see the seam, and make a nice gain on the play for the first down.
Just short of the 28-yard line. And again, the Raiders now will come with both Harvey Williams and Napoleon Kaufman. And as we said, look for one to shift out of the split back alignment. And as I say that, of course, they don't do it. Straight back Hostetler under pressure, throws, caught, wide open this time is Dudley, and a first down at the 49-yard line. And boy, do the Raiders hope that is a sign of things to come. 20-yard gain, but a flag is down, and I believe it's coming back.
A nice smooth reception there by Dudley on the outside. Good pass protection. He steps up into the pocket, throws to the outside. He makes the catch right number high, but there's a penalty on the play. But Dudley looked very smooth and looked like he had very good hands.
Holding penalty will make that one for naught, but Ricky Dudley showing all the ability that the Raiders feel he possesses. Remember, this is a guy that only played 2 years of college football. He was a basketball player, and a pretty darn good basketball player.
And that's one thing they have to be concerned about tonight. They had 11 penalties last week, and they can't afford to go into this game and continue to make penalties like they did last week.
This time they come with a single setback and a slot right. Hostetler will go back up again. Throws over the middle this time. Flag down again, and Williams will get about 5, but I believe this one is going to be a hold as well.
It could be. It's somebody on the left side, it looks like. But you couldn't tell. We'll take a look at it here in a minute, I'm sure.
A full takedown.
Holding. Offense. Number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Yeah, watch the left tackle 64 now. He licks him to the inside, and he grabs him from the backside to avoid letting him hit the quarterback. Actually, under the circumstances, it was a good play because he might have got a good shot on Hostetler.
In the wrong sport, that would have won Jenkins 3 points in Greco-Roman wrestling. Might have been a gold medalist.
Could be.
First down and a whole bunch. First and 30 for the Raiders. Ball back at the 8-yard line now, and now the Cardinals are going to take a timeout. Son of Barry Tompkins, Hank Stram, game 2 of the preseason for the Oakland Raiders. They have the ball back at their own 8-yard line, but they're going backwards. A couple of holding penalties have cost them 30 yards, and for all intent cost them 50 yards because the 20-yard pass play from Hostetler to Dudley was called back. dime package defensively now for the Cardinals, as they have 6 deep backs. Raiders go with 3 wideouts and a single setback. Williams gets the call and will get about 2, maybe 3 yards to the 12. Garth Jacks makes the tackle.
And that's the nice thing about having the offense spread out all over the field, because it separates the defense, and you got one-on-one blocking at the point of attack, and the guard and the tackle have to do a good job of blocking, creating a hole for the runner. Williams on the play didn't get enough of a cavity, but there's always a chance when they're all removed like they were. He's got a good chance to make a big play running the football.
3 wideouts once again, and a single setback, which this time was Napoleon Kaufman. On 2nd down and 26. Straight back, Hostetler throws, caught by Brown at the 30, the 35 to the 37-yard line. That'll be about a yard short of the first down, a gain of 25.
They had a blitz coming from the right side, coming up the middle. A 3-step drop, throw the ball quickly inside, an inside play, got inside position on the safety or the defensive back. The execution of the play was excellent, and he made a tough catch, because anytime you throw the ball below the waist, that's a tough catch.
So it'll be 3rd down and a yard after all of that. And they go out of the I formation. They bring Dudley in motion and give the tailback Williams, and Williams will have the first down across the 40-yard line. Might have gotten to the 42-yard line. Some pretty good blocking on the right side that time. Aeneas Williams makes the stop for the Cardinals.
A good push. Williams does a good job. Looks like he's starting toward the tackle. Good blocking up front. And then he cuts back inside and picks up the necessary yardage for a short gain.
Got a nice block from 35, Joe Aska.
Aska made a good block. You're right. They're right at the point of attack.
First down at the 42-yard line. They go the offset eye this time with Napoleon Kaufman now the tailback. And Hostetler will put it up again, looking deep this time, throwing for Hobbs, and Hobbs makes the catch. Hobbs just took it away, or it was Ismail, I beg your pardon. Rocket Ismail, not Hobbs, who took it away.
He took it away from Brown, and Brown had him covered very well. Good concentration by the Rocket down the left sideline. The pass protection is good. It's a 5-step drop. The ball is in the air, as you can see it. Now watch him leap above the defensive back, who had him covered well, but took his eye off the ball, missed it, and of course they have a big play and a first down.
Gain of 36, and the ball now at the 22-yard line. And Jeff Hostetler moving this team like clockwork early in the ballgame, much as Troy Aikman did last week in the first drive with the Dallas Cowboys. Short drop, they go up again. Secondary receiver is Brown, and Brown gets it down to about the 14-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7.
That's something I think the Raiders want to do a little bit more of. They just a short pattern in the outside, but they have to respect the speed so much of the outside receivers. To see, he looks to the right, looks off the receiver, he hitches in front of the defensive back, has enough time, he had enough cushion from Brown, the right cornerback, turned upfield and made a nice gain on the play.
Gave him 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down along 2. And it gives us to Napoleon Kaufman, and Kaufman will be close to the first down at the 12-yard line. Probably close enough to measure.
Now watch the halfback on the play. He's blocking the defensive end or the linebacker. See if we can get a shot at it. Don't get a real good shot, but that's what happened on the play. But it'll be interesting to see now whether they made enough yardage for the first down.
Hostetler early in this ballgame, 4 of 4 for 77 yards, 3 of them going to Tim Brown. Of course, the big play to Rocket Ismail, and remember, he had a 20-yarder to Ricky Dudley called back.
Well, last week, as I mentioned, they rushed for 186 yards, which is terrific. Threw the ball for 240. That's extremely good balance. You do that every week, you're going to win a lot of games. Because the ideal situation is to run for 150 and throw for 250. They were close.
It'll be 3rd down and very short, less than a foot, I would say. They bring Aska into the lineup along with Hinton. And Kaufman and Ismail leave. 10th play of this drive upcoming now.
And last week, the Raiders had the ball 66 times to 42 for the Cowboys. They had everything but win the game last week.
Hostetler gives this time to Williams, and I don't know. He was stopped short, I believe. Might have lost a yard. That time, good penetration by the left side of the Cardinals defensively. Garth Jacks making the play.
Yeah, short yardage. You cannot let them get penetration across the line of scrimmage. And Jacks came across there. Now he started to go inside. The safety was in the hole. That's why he slanted to the right side. And anytime you start going sideways on that kind of run of short yardage, you're not going to make the yardage.
Raiders don't hesitate. They will go for it. You see what the Cardinal defense has done this year. Dudley comes in motion, and the give is to Williams, and I don't know. This will depend on the spot. I don't think he got it. They may go through the motions of measuring this, but I don't even think the Raiders, by watching their body language, think that they have a prayer.
Watch Alexander again, 46, come into the hole, the safety. He comes in and watch him into the picture, 46. There he is from the inside and gets a good hit. And he jumps up and becomes a cheerleader after he makes that stop.
This appears definitely to be short, and it is, and the Cardinals will take over. So the Raiders 12 plays, but it's all for naught. Used up 6 minutes and 44 seconds, and don't have it in the results for it. 8:16 remaining, first quarter. Cardinals will have the ball for the first time. We'll be back in a moment. No score, first quarter. Cardinals will have the ball for the first time. 6 minutes and 44 seconds and nothing on the board for the Raiders. Boomer Esiason for the first time as a member of the Arizona Cardinals, and you see the numbers in his career, or rather last season with the Jets. He's the 10th most prolific passer in the history of the NFL.
And a very good leader, very gregarious guy. People respond extremely well to him.
The give is to Larry Centers, and Centers getting good yardage on first down. He picked up about 6.
A straight ahead shot, good blocking at the point of attack. They just got a good push by the offensive line.
Here is the way the Cardinals line up. Garrison Hurst and Larry Centers playing together. Rob Moore and Frank Sanders, two good-sized receivers on the outside, and Oscar McBride, primarily a blocker will be the tight end. The offensive line, Lomas Brown, Rob Selby, Mike Devlin, Anthony Redmond, and Ernest Dye. They go on the offset eye. Now Centers comes in motion. They give this time on a delay to Garrison Hurst, and Hurst gets across the 20 to about the 21. Got about 2. Mike Jones from an outside backer spot makes the tackle for the Raiders.
That was a counter play. Took a step to the right side with the idea of making the linebackers move a little bit to the opposite direction.
Anthony Smith, Russell Maryland, Nolan Harrison getting a start tonight, and Pat Swilling along the defensive line for the Raiders. The Fredrickson Morton still will be playing for Greg Biekert. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And the secondary had a quick look at, and it's the starting secondary: McDaniel, Anderson, Lynch, and Lewis. Third down and about 3. 4 wide receivers in the ball game, and that time jumping off might have been Nolan Harrison. We'll see. See if he was drawn across.
Yeah, he was, unless he was drawn across. Number 74. See, I couldn't tell whether the center moved or whether he just jumped prematurely.
We'll find out. Well, he jumped offside and a first down. It's exactly the kind of thing that Mike White wants to cut down on. Just can't give teams like the Cardinals or anybody else for that matter in the NFL cheap first downs.
And the other thing you got to do, you have the ball for 12 plays and it's short yardage, you've got to make that first down, which they didn't do.
Moore comes to the near side and Sanders to the far side. Centers and Hurst split behind Esiason. Play fake pass and went up and got it. Did Rob Moore. We talked about the size of the wideouts of the Cardinals, and there's a good example. 6'3", 205, and Moore needed all of that and a little bit more than that.
Well, Esiason is terrific with a play-action pass. This is what that is. Swilling gets there a little late, gets over the top with the pass. Moore makes the reception. Standing on a sideline with Al Davis, we're looking at them catch balls, and he said, look at this guy. He's one of the great receivers in the league, and he is.
Larry Centers, another pretty good receiver. First running back in the history of the National Football League to catch more than 100 passes. Got 2 yards on the ground that time. Eddie Anderson popped in.
But he's a tremendous attitude guy and an outstanding receiver along with it.
Second down and 8 now for the Cardinals. The ball just across the 35 at the 36-yard line. Esiason this time pitched to Hurst, and Hurst got a little jump and gets close to midfield, and another first down for the Cardinals. Gain of 11. Eddie Anderson dragged him down again. Garrison Hurst, remember, #1 draft pick. As a matter of fact, the 3rd overall pick in the 1993 draft. Considered a disappointment for a couple of years, and all of a sudden starting to emerge.
Off tackle play, sees the cavity, jumps back to the inside, and missed tackle by the safety, and he picks up a nice gain in the play. But he's got a lot of quickness, and he's a lot bigger than people think he is. He's 210.
He goes in motion this time to the far side. Looked like somebody might have jumped. Esiason straight back to pass. Clear out this time for Sanders underneath. And a fine tackle as Sanders crossed the 45-yard line. Really a saving tackle by Terry McDaniel.
And this is what he likes to do so well, Esiason. He likes to dink and dunk, the old donut offense. Here he is again. See, it's a crossing pattern. He comes all the way from the left side to the right side, makes the catch in stride, picks up a nice gain in the play.
2nd and 4. Garrison Hurst with another first down, and he gets there in a big hurry down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 8.
I tell you, the strong push by the offensive line of the Cardinals. That time they got a good push and straight ahead blocking and picked up a nice gain again.
Garrison Hurst doing a pretty good job so far.
Well, he's 3 for 21 yards, 7 yards a shot. That's pretty good.
First down, the ball resting at the 36-yard line of the Raiders. An impressive drive so far. This is Larry Centers. Bounces off a man. It's LaShawn Johnson, I beg your pardon. And lost a yard on the play. LaShawn Johnson, another guy who people felt might come a little bit sooner than he has. Picked up from the Green Bay Packers. He was their 3rd-round draft choice out of Northern Illinois. Set all kinds of rushing records in college. Running out of an option.
Well, this is a good drive so far by the Cardinals.
Sanders comes to the near side. Moore to the far side. Long count this time by Boomer Esiason. Straight back to pass he goes. Hit as he throws, and it's caught nicely by Larry Centers down to the 29-yard line of the Raiders. And Mike Jones did everything he could, and it was just a well-executed play, both by Esiason and Centers.
Yeah, you can't cover him any better than he did. Watch it again. Centers coming over from the right side. And he throws it right out in front. And he makes the catch.
4 wideouts this time, a double slot. And Esiason will go out of the shotgun on 3rd and 4.
Probably run a draw.
Raiders come with a blitz, and that's exactly what they do. And Centers, with great balance, has a first down to the 20, short of the 23-yard line.
See, anytime on that situation, they deploy everybody outside. You got 5-on-5 inside. That's the place to run because you got one-on-one blocking. That's exactly what they do. Centers is a good runner, good balance, and goes through there for the first down.
11th play of the Cardinals drive. Remember, the Raiders had a 12-play drive. They got nothing out of it. Cardinals now with their 11th play upcoming, and the ball at the 24-yard line of the Raiders.
Might see a play-action pass here.
Exactly what we saw. And the pass is overthrown, intended for Centers. It was well covered that time by Bob Fredrickson.
And that's hard coverage when you play action and still have to cover the back and the flat. You have a tendency to take a sniff of the fake, and you get caught by a step or two, and the back is out open and free in the flat area. Here it is again. Play action. Throws it a little bit high, but he had to throw it that way because the coverage was so good on the play.
And to give this time to Centers, and Centers trying to find some place to go. Turn nothing into a little something. He got about 2 to the 21-yard line. Just going back to that play prior for a moment, I think Esiason showing the fact that he's a pro. He's been around. He saw the man was covered right away and just threw it away.
Yeah, he's smart. He really is. He's played a left football, and he knows the pre-reads defenses extremely well. And that's the key. He's got to know where he's going to throw the ball before the ball is snapped. And he's smart and does a great job of that.
3rd down and 7. They come with a trips right this time.
Well, there's a good chance they go away from the triple and come back to the weak side, hoping to get man-for-man coverage. Let's see what they do.
They go out of the shotgun once again. Raiders showing blitz from the right side.
They might hit a back. No, they're keeping him in.
And he throws over the middle. He had all kinds of time to throw. It was caught by Sanders. And it's going to be a 1st down at the 13-yard line of the Raiders. Great job by Frank Sanders to hold on.
It was, and a good protection. There was a little pressure on the outside, the right side, but Esiason, watch him step up into the pocket. Rushing the out, steps up into the pocket, avoids the rush, gets the ball right on the money. And anytime you throw the ball in the middle area, you got to make sure you throw it below the chin, below the numbers or at the numbers. Anything high in the middle, if you don't catch it, it's going to be an interception.
Both quarterbacks getting it done. Boomer now 4 of 5 for 34 yards. 1st down at the 13-yard line. Centers in motion, and they give to Hurst. And Hurst gets inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And that indicative of a very good push up front because there really wasn't much there. Pat Swilling makes the tackle. Good job by Lomas Brown, Rob Selby, Mike Devlin, Anthony Redmond, and Ernest Dye up front. And with that, it'll be the last play of the 1st quarter. So both teams with long possessions, but neither team able to score right now. And I'm not sure for how long we'll be able to make that comment as the Cardinals are driving impressively. End of a quarter. We'll be back after these.
They're going to be a lot better offensively, and that's where they needed the help the most. And they got very good kicking along with it.
Meantime, the Cardinals moving inside the 10-yard line. They are looking right now at a 2nd down and about 5. Call it 6. 2nd and 6. Splitbacks this time behind Boomer Esiason. They bring Sanders in motion to the near side. Esiason throws for Sanders at the goal line, and he is whacked. Anderson was there along with McDaniel. It was Oscar McBride, the intended receiver, as opposed to Sanders.
But you see, there was traffic there. He threw between the defensive backs, and the key was he threw it at the number. Had he thrown it behind, up on top, in front of, it would have been an incompleted pass. He got it right where it had to be thrown.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 now. Ball right at the 9-yard line. And they come with the trips right this time. It's Stevie Anderson, Sanders, and Hurst all to the right side. And now they bring Sanders in motion. Out of the shotgun, Esiason to throw. Pump fake. Throws for the corner. Too tall. Intended that time for Rob Moore, and he had it.
Esiason, watch now. He tried to look off the receiver, pumps the ball, throws it quickly over the top. He had him licked. He was wide open. Would have been a touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals.
So Davis will try a 26-yarder, and this is as close as it comes in this game of pro football to an automatic.
This guy's a great kicker, and he'd probably miss it.
Yep, it was automatic.
Yeah, but he just barely missed the upright on the right side, but he's a great kicker.
So Davis puts the first points of the game on the board, and the Cardinals lead it by a 3-0 count, 14-46, and we'll be back in a moment. Made it better if it was a touchdown.
Yeah, that's right, and it would have been a touchdown because they had Brown licked over that right side for the touchdown, but he threw it over the top. And the fact that he pumped the ball like he did, I think, destroyed the timing and the rhythm of the play.
So Davis will kick it off now. He'll be kicking to Kenny Shedd and along to Truitt. Shedd will be at the bottom of your screen. Truitt at the top. Davis, strong leg, comes forward, kicks this one away. This is headed for Shed at about the 1 yard line. Perfect kick. The 10, 15, trying to get to the outside, 20, and slipped by that one man and got to the 30-yard line. Good effort that time by Kenny Shed.
You know, the great thing about that return was the fact that he was very decisive. He didn't dance around. He got the ball, knew where he was going to run. It was a return to the right side, and that's exactly what he did.
We'll be back in a moment. And I'd say it was pretty impressive, Hank. 4 for 4, 77 yards. They wanted him to throw a little bit. He did just that. He took his team down at least within striking range, and I think he has to be pretty pleased with what he did.
Well, I would think so, plus the fact they said they were going to get the hook after 12 to 16 plays, and that's exactly what they did, literally.
So Billy Joe Hobart will take over now, and we expect to see him probably the second and third quarters. He flops his running backs. And the give this time is to Williams. Williams starts one way, now tries to get the other way, and the Cardinals contain him pretty well. He still managed to pick up about 4 yards on the play. Tito Paul makes the stop.
Well, they try to break a tendency there from that formation. The formation was a little tilted to the right, and they had Williams at the tailback position. And normally he runs to the right from that formation. This time he goes right up the middle. It's all plugged up, so he jumps to the outside. Good pursuit angle on the part of the Cardinals, and they make the tackle after just about a yard or two gain.
This time they bring Ismail to the near side. Hobbs in the slot.
And he's got 1 for 1 over here. See if they try to go up on top.
Hobart. Whoop. Whistles blow, and I believe it might have been Kevin Gogan who jumped offside.
Ball start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Prior to the snap. Second down.
See, one thing about the passing game, you have to have enough confidence in it. If you're going to use these formations, you look for single coverage. That time there was single coverage on the left side. You got to dump the ball up, throw the ball up on top for the big play. Of course, it was a penalty, and but they didn't have that called anyhow.
So it remains second down and 10. Hobart straight back to pass this time, and the throw and the catch, and falling out of bounds that time was Darryl Hobbs. Hobbs has always been an outstanding possession receiver.
He really is, and except that time now he makes an outside move, but he's short of the first down. He should have gone beyond that area to make sure if he makes the catch, he's got a first down. Good protection for Hobart, but see, he runs out of bounds just about a yard short. He extends the pattern, he gets a first down.
Napoleon Kaufman will be the tailback in the I formation. Joe Asker the fullback on third down and a yard.
They'll run left probably.
And
there they go.
Is to Kaufman. Kaufman cuts inside and has the first down at about the 36. Boy, the way he went down sure looked like a face mask, but there is no flag. Got him by the shoulder pad instead. Jameer Miller on the tackle.
Slot formation on the right side. They got man-for-man blocking with a tight end on the left side. He goes inside, pops to the outside, gets the ball away from pressure. A good move by Kaufman, and he picks up a nice gain on the play.
So a first down at the 44-yard line.
See if we see a play-action pass here. Got two backs.
Split behind Hobart. Here comes the blitz, and I think somebody came a little bit early. And that's the kind of thing you're going to see in the preseason.
Prior to the snap, ball start, offense number 83, 5-yard penalty.
Tight end.
First down.
Tight end came off the ball prematurely. Penalty on the play.
Ricky Dudley, the rookie, making a rookie mistake, and that's the 5th penalty for the Raiders. And again, that's an area that has been of some concern to Mike White and his staff.
And as I mentioned earlier, they had 11 last week, and they're on their way to maybe duplicating that number again if they're not careful.
And it's just a sign of a team that is not yet in sync.
Right. When you get a conglomeration of players in a game that are not regulars and don't play all the time, that's going to happen.
Hobart straight back to pass once again. He's got all day to throw. Clear out this time. Throws to Hobbs underneath. And Hobbs makes the catch and is down to the 48-yard line. A gain of about 4. Ronald McKinnon makes the tackle. McKinnon's an interesting story. He is a rookie free agent out of North Alabama. But he was the winner of the Harlan Hill Trophy. First time a defensive player ever won that trophy. That, of course, is the Division II equivalent of the Heisman Trophy. Came here as a free agent And the coaching staff is really high on him. They compare him with Sam Mills. He's not a big guy in terms of height, but they say he hits like a truck.
Yeah, he's a thumper. He's a thumper. And Harlan Hill, not many people remember him, I'm sure, but he was a great receiver for the Chicago Bears.
I'll tell you what, if you live in San Francisco, you remember him. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Down to about the 47-yard line. He beat the 49ers as a member of the Detroit Lions and beat them out of a championship.
Boy, he was an excellent player. They come off the left side now with a straight ahead shot. The right guard pulling on the play. A nice cavity inside. He keeps his head up and his eyes open and gets as much as he possibly can on the play.
Third down and about a yard. Ricky Irvin's in the ball game for the first time now. He hasn't even been with the team a week
they
yet.
Run right. They do.
And it's Ricky Irvin's, and he's not going to get it. Good defensive play by the Cardinals that time. And again, it's the guy we just spoke of, Ronald McKinnon. And I'll tell you what, folks, there's a name you might want to tuck away in the back of your mind. I have an idea you're going to hear it quite a lot in the NFL.
Yeah, they like him very much. See, they're running, the tight end is on the right side, and so they anticipate the fact that because the tight end is on that side, that's where they're going to run. That's why I thought they would run right. They did, and were stopped on the play.
Chuck Levy will be the deep man to receive this punt of Gossett's. Gossett kicks it straight up. That's a good kick. Levy, fair catch, lets it bounce, and it'll be down at the 2-yard line, and you can't do that any better than that. There is a flag, however, thrown at about the 12-yard line. 45-yard punt. Terrific hang time. Got it way up there. Left Levy no choice but to have the ball bounce, and Mike Morton downs it at, they're now saying just short of the 4-yard line. Now we'll see about the flag. That is a good punt.
And Gossett was a great athlete. You know, he's a terrific baseball player. And played in the minor leagues as a third baseman for the New York Mets. And you like to have an athlete kicking the ball because you know if there's a disaster or some kind of a play, he can make an adjustment, pick the ball up, he can throw it, he can run it, do something with it, instead of lay down on the ball.
On receiving team, number 86, signaled for a fair catch, then blocked prior to the ball being touched or down. Penalty is declined. First down, Arizona.
So it's really interesting. And you go out to lunch, you got to wear a wetsuit.
They're wringing wet, that's for sure.
There's a give this time on the right side to Garrison Hurst in a scramble for the football. Hurst clutching it desperately.
You better clutch it desperately because the biggest guy in the bottom of that pile usually is going to wind up with the ball.
And that's not going to be Garrison Hurst.
That's right.
Didn't get anything on the play. It'll be second down and 10. Boomer Esiason remains the quarterback. Sanders and Hurst are the running backs, and Moore and Sanders the wideouts, both on the left side with Sanders in the slot.
See if they draw here. Nope.
Esiason will pass out of his end zone. Little swing out of the backfield. Hurst, and that's one that he might have heard a couple of footsteps. Well, just a reminder that Raiders season tickets are still available. 1-888-44-RAIDERS. Operator standing by to take your requests for tickets. There are still some good seats available. Incidentally, the Raiders want to remind you that if you are a PSL holder, that there's a pretty good deal going on right now. You can buy as many as 6 more seats just for the price of the ticket and do what you will with them. Give them to friends, sell them to friends, do whatever you want to do with them. You can have those for next year.
And they get bump and run on the left side. Let's see if they try to go up on top there. Penalty.
And now we'll find out who caused this. I think it's going to go against Arizona.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 65, penalized half the distance to the goal line, still third down.
I didn't see anybody move there, did you?
No, I didn't actually.
That's a phantom call.
That's preseason for the officials, too.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody. He really got a scoop if he saw somebody move on that play.
3rd down and 12 from the 2-yard line now. Raiders will try to keep this play in front of them. Esiason will throw out of his own end zone. Now he's got to scramble, steps up, throws, and a full takedown. That's interference. And that was absolutely interference by Carl Kidd. And I have to tell you, that might not have been a bad idea, because that was looking for all the world like a 98-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it could have been. We'll see it again here. He looks to the right, and then he goes to the left, rolls out to the left.
Holding. Defense, number 46. 5-yard penalty, previous spot. First down.
Well, the only thing he's lucky about is that they called a penalty before the ball went up. So it's only holding instead of interference.
Right.
As such, it's going to give him a first down, but it's only 5 yards.
Yeah, they get the ball on the 7 instead of the 25. It's a big difference.
Now, that was going to be a touchdown. The truth of the matter is Rob Moore was running right by Carl Kidd. I'm not quite sure what Carl was looking at there.
It looked like he tackled him. You couldn't tell.
That's true. Give this time on the right side to Hurst, and Hurst with plenty of room at the 20, 25, and out of bounds the 28-yard line, and a flag down at the line of scrimmage, which could account for that.
Yeah, that's usually holding when they drop it at the line of scrimmage to see what happens. It is against against the Cardinals.
I think Ernest Dye is going to be the guilty party here, number 65. 21 yards on the play, but it's all for naught.
Holding. Offense, number 60. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. Repeat the down. First down.
All right, so it was Anthony Redmond right alongside Ernest Dye. I think Dye convinced him to do it. Couldn't really see it in there.
No, you could. It was hard to tell. You're looking for a grab or a hold of some kind, but you couldn't. It wasn't very distinct.
So 1st and 14 back at the 3-yard line. Both teams beset with penalties in this ball game, and yet both teams moving the football. There's a pass and another flag down. I think we're going to get a holding call in the end zone, and that's Frank Sanders was the intended receiver, but another hold.
Yeah, that's, if that was holding in the end zone, that's a 2-point play, safety.
Well, we'll see.
Holding. Offense, number 65. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
I told you it was Ernest Dye who was holding. Anthony Smith was the holdee. Well, it was right close to the end zone, Hank. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was. Had it been in the end zone, it had been a safety. Huh?
So it'll be 2nd down and 14. And now we've got somebody moved on the Arizona line. I think Mike Devlin.
They're clapping offensively like it was defense. See what transpires here, athletes.
Encroachment. Defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty.
Jerry
Still
Ball.
2nd down.
Jerry Ball by the Raiders with his good field position if they wind up with one.
End result is it's 2nd and 9. Raiders come with a late blitz. Larry Centers finding no place to go, and he's dropped for a loss back at the 5-yard line. Nolan Harrison, first man to him, got plenty of help from Anthony Smith.
'94 Smith comes right down. Nolan gets a hit in the backfield, and Anthony Smith gets a good shot from the side, number 94.
Told you a moment ago, tickets are still available even now. 1-888-44 Raiders. I'll tell you more about some of the deals that are available. Trips right this time on 3rd down and 12. And Esiason with time out of his own end zone. Boy, does he have time. Waits for traffic to clear. Throws intended that time for Stevie Anderson, who couldn't hang on at the 18-yard line. So after all that, the Cardinals will have to give it up.
And Bruce Pickens that time was involved in the play on defense, number 39. See, he holds it. And they come in from the backside and knocks the ball loose. It was thrown low, thankfully, for the Cardinals, because anytime you throw that ball high, there's always a chance, as I mentioned earlier, for an interception.
Siegels will do the punting out of his own end zone, and Darryl Hobbs will call for the fair catch at the 47-yard line. So the Raiders with good field position, 42-yard punt. No return. The Raiders start in Cardinals territory with 7:23 remaining in the first half. The Cardinals lead the ball game by a 3-0 count. It's been a game that's been plagued with penalties. We'll be back.
Kicker gets rid of the ball very, very fast, and as a result, that ball was not blocked. Morton had a chance to block it. Had he taken 3 steps, he'd have gotten the thing blocked, but he didn't, and got rid of the ball in good shape.
Just to add to that, Hank, Siegels has not had a punt block since 1991.
He's like a quick kicker.
Irvins and Aska are the setbacks. Hobart throws, caught this time. Good pass and a nice catch by Darryl Hobbs down at the 30-yard line. Gain of 17. And Hobart gunned that one.
Yeah, a lot of RPMs on that ball. And, of course, Hobart, I think he's a tremendous prospect. I think he's a quarterback of the future for the Raiders. And watch him go back into the pocket. He's a big, strong guy. Runs good, too. Look at the gun he's got. Throws it right inside of the linebacker. Again, importantly, right at the numbers. Makes the catch by Hobbs.
Hobart this time gives to Ricky Irvins, and Irvins gets about 2, maybe 3, to about the 27-yard line. Talk about Hobart. He's a guy, if there was ever any question about him, it was his dedication to the game of football. He's an outstanding golfer. People used to say he'd rather be on a golf course than in a practice session. As you look at his numbers tonight, which of course are impressive, but all of a sudden, according to the coaching staff here, he came to camp this year with, to coin a phrase of an old song, or to coin a title of an old song, a new attitude. He's really dedicated himself to this game, and I think your point is well taken. He has now fallen into the category of the heir apparent.
No, I don't think there's any question about that. He stays healthy. He's going to be something very, very special.
Single setback this time on 2nd and 7. Hobart waits for traffic to clear, throws underneath to Irvins, who makes the catch. That'll be a gain of about 6 to the 21-yard line. David Merritt makes the tackle. Merritt getting some playing time, 4th-year man out of North Carolina State.
Watch the left tackle do a good job of pushing Jenkins, pushing the rusher to the outside, so Hobart can step up into the pocket and get rid of the ball nicely.
Ricky Irvins has only been with this team for just a few days. Had a couple of very successful years coming out of USC with the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, I saw him play a lot of games, and he was very, very outstanding, and they were happy to have him.
Hobart this time throws to Truitt. Truitt will give the Raiders another first down at about the 17, maybe the 16-yard line of the Cardinals. Good protection up front by the Raiders' offensive line.
That's the important thing, and it's a great feeling for the quarterback to know that he doesn't have to throw a hand grenade back there, step back and fire, pull the pin and get rid of it. He's got time to look around, read the defenses, and get rid of the football.
Hobart now 5 for 5, 45 yards. Remember, Hostetler 4 for 4 for 77 yards. Truitt starts in motion, and the give is to Irvin, and Irvin slips outside, can't get by the last man, got it down to about the 15-yard line, and had he have gotten by Ben Smith, it was goodbye.
Wisniewski did a great job at the point of attack, the left guard on the play, got a good block in the right tackle. There he is back on the fake. We don't see the block by Wisniewski right off the bat, but he made a good contact and opened up a nice hole in that area, smothered the defensive tackle.
Ricky Dudley with a key block on that last play too. Straight back again. Hobart again with time. Throws behind the intended receiver, who was Ricky Dudley. And it'll be third down. Well, we told you about some of the opportunities for tickets. There's the number, 888-44-RAIDERS. And, of course, the Raiders this year with a very attractive home schedule. They play a couple of Monday night home games. They play a Sunday night home game. Starts at 6 o'clock. And, of course, all the great rivals in the AFC. Most of the teams in this conference, I think, improved this year. And I think the conference completely up for grabs, Hank.
Oh, I think it's a jump ball situation. No question about it. San Diego's going to be better. Denver's going to be better. The Raiders are going to be better. The Chiefs have kind of stood pat. They feel very strongly about their football team. And so, and Seattle's going to be better. So it'll be a lot more competitive.
Third down now at about 8. Hobart's got to run for his life this time. Throws on the run and doesn't really get it in the area of anybody. Jameer Miller was putting a pretty good push that time on Hobart. Truitt was the intended receiver, but there was no way he was going to get it. And the Raiders will try to tie the game here.
Watch Hobart going back into the pocket now. Goes back. And he sees the rush coming into his face. He does what he naturally would do, try to jump outside of that outside rush. And finally gets rid of the football. At least he didn't lose yardage in the play. It was a good play on his part to get rid of the ball.
It's going to be Cole Ford who will try the field goal. It'll be a 33-yard effort. And I'll tell you, you start choosing between the Raiders kickers and talk about a grab bag. You could just throw it up and see what comes down. Jager and Ford both doing a great job. Ford 8 of 9 last year, perfect in the preseason, knocks that one through. We got a tie game.
And that was a bad snap too. The holder did a good job of getting the ball down. And I don't think there's a decision. If I were doing it, I'd keep both of those kickers.
3:56 remaining in the half. 3-3 ball game. Back in a moment. AFC. I think the AFC is going to be a lot tougher this year, Hank. I think you got Seattle, you got San Diego, you got Kansas City. They stood pat.
Well, I think you're right. That's a good observation. And as I said last week, I still think that this team is going to be a very, very good football team. And you ought to get your tickets as soon as you possibly can.
LaShawn Johnson returning that kickoff to the 16-yard line. Good coverage on special teams by the Raiders. We'll jump off the track for a moment. 3:47 remaining first half. 3-3. Back in a moment. Go to Miami, Kansas City, and Seattle. I think Seattle is going to be a tough team to beat in this conference also.
Yeah, I think they're laying in the weeds. I think they're going to be much better.
Kent Graham now at quarterback. Gives off this time to LaShawn Johnson, and he might have lost a yard or two. Here's a look at Kent Graham, his 5th year in the league, out of Ohio State. Played with the New York Jets. Played a little bit with Detroit last year, but didn't get into any ball games. Was originally a number 3 draft choice of the New York Giants. The running backs now, LaShawn Johnson and Cedric Smith. This is Smith in motion to the near side. And Graham in trouble, and down he goes. Back at the 10-yard line. Leroy Glover was the first man to him, a rookie out of San Diego State, and joined by another rookie, the number 2 pick, Lance Johnstone. And we were talking off the air, Hank, very impressed with Johnstone last week, and he starts off right where we left off tonight.
Yeah, we talked about him with Mike White this morning, and he was ecstatic in his praises.
So 2 rookies in on that sack. Here's another look.
See from the outside. And he's in the bottom of the pile. Johnston with down the bottom of the pile making a tackle.
Graham trying to throw a little swing out of the backfield that time to Centers, and Centers couldn't hang on at the 8-yard line, and the Cardinals will have to give it up.
Well, the Raiders had good field position in the last drive. Wound up with 3 points. They ought to come out of here with good field position again. Maybe get something before the half.
Truitt will be the deep man for the Raiders now as he stands back at his own 45-yard line. Fiegel will hit it out of his end zone again. See if the Raiders play run back here. Short kick straight up. Truitt lets it bounce, and I think it bounced out of bounds at about the 40, we'll call it the 41-yard line. They're going to say it went out of bounds. Call it the 40, and there may be a flag on the sideline. We'll see what that's all about. There is a flag at the 30-yard line. And the discussion going on back here at the 20-yard line. It's going to go against the Cardinals, at least if the Raiders are to be believed.
Illegal use of the hand. Number 7 on the kicking team. Penalty is declined. First down, Oakland.
Well, the Raiders with excellent field position again will start at the Cardinals' 40-yard line. Ricky Urbans will be at a running back spot for the Raiders along with Aska. Billy Joe Hobart will continue at quarterback. We expect to see Hobart play the third quarter as well, and he'll give way to David Klingler in the final period. Raiders going with a backup offensive line now. Charles McCray in the ballgame, Rich Stevens, and we'll spot the rest of them as this series continues. They did well last week against the Cowboys. Play fake pass. Hobart throws, caught on a comebacker by Truitt, and a first down at the 24-yard line, and there might be a flag down.
And the more you see of number 17, the more you like him. He's very, very impressive, and I think the Raiders have high hopes and expectations for this fine young receiver.
That will be the 8th penalty.
Holding. Offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Well, we just talked about the backup offensive line. Charles McCray playing behind Robert Jenkins at the left tackle spot is the man guilty of that offense.
And Truitt, as I mentioned a moment ago, continues to impress with the fine routes, good hands, and his ability to run with the ball once he makes a reception.
Single setback this time on first and a whole bunch, and they give this to Aska, and he gets down inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Pretty good yardage. You got about 6.
Good lean that time. Good lean and good finishing run on the part of Aska.
And it brings us to the 2-minute warning, and a look at the scoreboard shows the Cardinals 3 and the Raiders 3. Back in a moment. When they do get something going, they just seem to hurt themselves by way of penalties. 8 of them tonight. Hobart, short drop, throws, caught over the middle. Sean Foster makes the catch and a first down at the 26-yard line. Gain of 17. Sean Foster hung around last year, played on the practice squad. The Raiders will call a timeout tonight because of a leg injury. That is Philip Bobo.
See, they already got the field goal. Let's see what they try to do here as far as getting the ball downfield. Whoa!
That's just a terrific interception that time by Tito Paul. And we're going to get a flag again on top of it. That's a brilliant play. The ball was thrown to the wrong side, both of the receiver and of Paul, and somehow he got his hands on it and kept it alive.
27, Tito Paul. Offense, number 72. Penalty is declined. First down, Arizona.
Like a blacksmith.
Out of the backfield this time, Larry Centers at the 10, trying to get out of bounds and fumbles the ball out of bounds. At about 242 pounds.
Right, he's like a linebacker or a defensive end.
Second down and 7 now. They go out of the shotgun this time, and Graham hangs in there, waits for traffic. A little drag pattern for Centers, and Centers is stopped at the 17-yard line, short of the first down. The clock will keep running. 109, 108. Mike Morton makes the stop for the Raiders.
And that looked like an option play to the halfback where he can go inside or outside. He chose to go inside. He's hoping on the play.
Graham trying to go wide this time, and they're going to say incomplete pass. I don't believe that Marcus Dowdle will come on to punt it, and Truitt will be the deep man at the 37-yard line. Twisting kick. Truitt might have a chance. Calls a fair catch at the 47-yard line. 37-yard punt. And Raiders with 48 seconds, and certainly stranger things have happened. We're tied at 3. Back in a moment. Put it up. Throws underneath this time. The ball is caught by Aska, and Aska gets a little bit more down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he ran through a would-be tackler like he was a bag drill and went right through there and got extra yardage on the play. Great run by Aska.
12-yard gain and a first down. The Raiders hurry to the line of scrimmage. 27 seconds remaining. Hobart straight back again. Throws it out this time for Truitt. Makes the catch. Steps out at the 32-yard line with 21 seconds left. Truitt running very precise patterns. This is a guy that's been around a little bit. He's just never had an opportunity to play during a regular season. It's his 4th year. The ball at really short of the 32-yard line. Single setback this time. Straight back Hobart 5-step drop. Throws this time for Hobbs. Makes the catch. Now the Raiders will have to burn a timeout. At the 27-yard line, it'll be a first down. Tickets themselves, and that's a pretty good deal.
They got 14 seconds. I'd go for something up on top. They already got the field goal. Try to get something on the board.
Hobart's going to have to roll away from trouble. He's got to save some time here. He throws it away. With 6 seconds left. And by Davis earlier. It's just such an important part of the game. And Gossett, another one of the best. High snap. Got it down, though. Jaeger has enough on it if it's straight. And it is. So Jeff Jaeger puts the Raiders on top as the first half comes to an end. They call it officially 44 yards, and he probably had enough for 45 yards on that one.
You know, Barry, I asked somebody in the National Football League, some of the competitors in the league, about the Raiders facility. I'll get back to them in just a minute.
As the kickoff being returned by LaShawn Johnson, and he gets it back to the 21-yard line. For the Arizona Cardinal, Kent Graham will still be the quarterback. Throws too tall, and a real shot that time by Larry Brown.
Earlier, that would have been a reception.
Straight back to pass goes Graham again, and a little clear out underneath, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Marcus Dowdle. 4 wideouts in the ballgame. Chuck Levy is in there along with Dowdle.
We might see something in the middle area this time that looks like it's vulnerable. It's got a chance.
Third down,
blitz.
10, and hit as he threw, and I believe that they are going to call this an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it was an incompleted pass, but they got a blitz that time and had no chance whatsoever to make the play.
James Trapp here, and we'll talk about some of the reasons why in a moment. As Scott Player will come on to punt it away. Twisting kick headed for Truitt at the 41-yard line. He's got room. Midfield. Couldn't slip by the contained man and still got down to the 46-yard line. 37-yard punt, 13-yard return. And Terry, it's not.
And compared to last week, it's not.
That's right.
You had at least got a little breeze tonight.
Yeah, it was up to 111 here last week. It was over 100 yesterday. To give to Ricky Irvins, and Irvins gets to the 45-yard line. Inside the 45. Got about 2.5. Blaine Berger makes the stop.
Your head up and the eyes open so you can take advantage of the cavity that lies ahead.
Play fake pass this time. Hobart looking over the middle. Throws caught this time. Fine grab made by Sean Foster, and we talked about his concentration. A gain of 22. A couple of big catches by Foster.
And
now they bring Truitt in motion. Ball at the 22-yard line. They give to Ricky Irvins, and Irvins didn't get much, maybe a yard. Stacked up as he got to the 21.
They got penetration, the defense that time. The defensive end came up the field. That was
in motion again.
Blitz.
They pick the blitz up, and the give this time is to Irvins. Irvins with room outside at the 20, at the 15, and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That's going to be very close to a first down. I think he got it.
And Irvins is a very fine runner, but he's carrying the ball in the wrong arm. He's running to the left with the ball in the right arm. If somebody gets a chance from the inside out, they can scrape the thing loose. He's got to carry it away from where he's running so he can use that right arm as a straight arm. He doesn't do that. It's a big mistake.
Particularly for a player who's been in the league as long as he has.
Right, exactly right.
Those are the football just short of the 11-yard line. Raiders with a first down. Their first offensive possession of the second half. They bring Joe Aska up on the wing this time. Irvins is the lone setback. Short drop. Hobart throws out of the backfield, intended for Irvins, incomplete. Second down and 10.
If they run, they're going to run right.
And they run right after starting straight ahead, and it's Irvins who gets down to about the 8-yard line, a gain of 3.
See, he started inside, but he saw the opening. Really, it looked like before the snap of the ball, but tight end was on that side. It's soft on that side. That's the place to run. He saw it, took advantage of it, and ran to the right side.
Jerry Drake made
See
the
that?
tackle.
It was penetration right up the middle, so he went to the right and got a little bit out of the play. Had he gone straight ahead, he'd have lost yardage on the play.
Drake and Del McGee on the stop for the Cardinals. Kenny Shedd in the ball game now offensively for the Raiders for the first time as they go with 3 wide receivers, leaving Joe Aska as the lone setback.
See if they throw something inside here. You got one-on-one on the outside, however.
Short drop, threw it hard over the middle, intended for Sean Foster. No. This will be a 26-yarder for the USC graduate. And Cole Ford smacks this one through. And the Raiders have taken a 9-3 lead with 11 minutes and 1 second remaining in the third quarter in the kicking game. 9-3 ball game, the Raiders lead. End over end kick. This is going to be Chuck Levy a yard deep, and he's going to try it. He can scoot to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Couldn't tell who missed a tackle about 20 yards prior to the time he was stopped.
Will be one of the running backs, and the pitch this time goes to LaShawn Johnson, and a flag down late. Johnson got about 5 yards on the play. And now we'll see about the flag.
Yep.
Graham instead gives this time, and a first down to LaShawn Johnson. Johnson gets there in a hurry too. Mentioned earlier that this guy played at Northern Illinois. He played in that option offense. He had 1,000,000 yards. The rap on him at Green Bay was that he was able to catch passes. That, of course, is what Vince Tobin wants to know. Here's a pitch to Johnson. Johnson again gets there in a big hurry and gets about 4 to the 40-yard line. I like the way he runs.
Johnson that time got hooked, and that's why they were able to get on the outside that time. On the outside for a nice game.
Second down, and the give inside, and stopped right now by Lance Johnstone. And Johnstone again just showing very impressively. Cedric Smith was the ball carrier, and Johnstone just got him right now.
Oh, he was in a great position.
They go out of the shotgun this time. Straight back, Graham to pass, has time this time. Now he comes back for Johnstone, and Johnstone unable to slip out of the grasp of Mike Morton. Good effort by Morton, and that was going to be a big gain. Deep man again to receive this punt. And it will be Scott Player who will be the punter.
Watch how quickly he makes a decision back there. He knows exactly what he's going to do with the ball once he makes the catch.
Player hits this pretty good, turns it over. Truitt will handle it at the 13-yard line. Slips by the first man, heads the outside, and out of bounds at about the 16. 45-yard punt and a return of 3 yards by Alanda Truitt. And along with Irvins for the Raiders. Hobart back to pass. Throws for Bender, makes the catch the 20-yard line, out of bounds at the 21. Bender coming off an impressive first game against the Dallas Cowboys. Wesley Lisi makes the tackle.
And Hobart impresses you with his poise. You know, he goes back into the pocket with a lot of assurance. He hangs in there. He doesn't worry about the rush at all. He's concentrating on throwing the ball downfield and gets the ball there in a big, big hurry.
Got about 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 6. Split backs, Irvins and Bender behind Hobart. Hobart straight back, throws over the middle, caught this time by Hinton, and Hinton is stopped at the 38-yard line. So the second-year player out of Alcorn State picking up 17 yards. Hinton is an deadly caught when it was called back.
Yeah, but I mean one that counted.
Little movement on the line, and I think whistles blow, and we'll see. Cunningham moved, but somebody came across for the Cardinals on the other side as well. So we'll see what
I think it was prompted by the Raiders. Let's see.
Ball start prior to the snap. Offense number 85. 5-yard.
Out of the offset eye this time. First down.
You got a one-on-one on the right side. There's a good chance to throw the ball over there. Let's see if they do.
Hobart throws underneath this time for Foster. Makes the catch at the 39-yard line. Ronald McKinney. You get a couple of extra tickets there too. You got to buy them, of course. You're not just going to hand them to you, but you buy them at face value with the ticket. You can give them to friends. Everybody's going to like the Coliseum. Bender couldn't quite hang on to that. Slipped and fell as he turned for the ball. It really wasn't a badly thrown ball by Hobart.
Yeah, he got it up in the air, which you have to do. You got the flaps up so he can run underneath the ball.
Third down now and 8. And Hobart throws over the middle, caught by Foster, and another terrific catch by Sean Foster. The ball was back almost behind him over his shoulder. Foster pulled it back in and picks up 15 yards in front of Ben Smith.
And Hobart's doing a good job of getting that ball to the receivers.
Jerome Davidson in the ball game at the fullback spot now in front of Ricky Urbans. Play fake, and Hobart will go up on first down. Throws, caught by Truitt on a crossing pattern, and another first down at the 25-yard line. A gain of 20, and the Raiders are picking it up in big chunks right now.
Well, the play-action passes are very good because
pretty tender arm. He was to begin with, but I think he nicked it again on that last play. First down Raiders. Pitch this time to Urbans. Urbans tries to get outside. Now has no place to go. Is surrounded and downed, and a loss of about a yard.
See, again, he was running to the left. He was handcuffed.
A momentary timeout here in Tempe. In fact, a very good number of them on hand. There's as many folks clad in black and white as there are in red and white here. Hobart back to pass again, throws, and almost picked that time. A flag is down here at the 30-yard line, about the 28-yard line actually. Not sure what Hobart was thinking there, nor what his receiver was thinking. Hobart now 15 of 23, 173 yards. Back in the ball game. And Aska is the running back, and this is Joe Aska. And Aska knocking off people, getting down to about the 15-yard line. Another fine prospect. He was with the team.
Put him on waivers. We had a chance to let him go through, but if they didn't see him, you see.
Aska will get a first down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. Actually, that's an old Al Davis trick too. Al used to.
Stevens was pulling on the play, number 77, and it looked like he was trying to make a trap block.
Truitt this time comes in motion, comes all the way through. They give us to Aska again, and Aska gets to about the 3-yard line. Good tough running inside by Aska, going over the right side. Yeah, you know, we mentioned earlier, Lincoln Kennedy clearly, we'll try to get in on him on one of these plays, but Lincoln Kennedy's playing with one arm and is doing a pretty darn good job with one arm. Hobart straight back, throws, incomplete, flag down. And I think it's either going to be a hold or roughing the passer.
17, Orlando.
It is a hold. Slot left.
You got a one-on-one on the right side. See, it comes in motion to the right this time. Truitt.
Hobart straight back, throws out of the backfield. Aska at the 5. Stopped at the 1-yard line. Looked for all the world as though we were going to get in. Gain of 12, and it'll be third down and 1 to go for a touchdown.
Good movement with with the defense, with the Truitt going, making the touchdown.
Just inside a minute remaining third quarter. Third down, a yard to go for the touchdown.
See if they run right.
They give it to Aska, right side, touchdown Raiders. And that was a pretty darn impressive drive.
Yeah, they've done good on that drive.
Despite their 11th penalty along the way.
As the ball gets up into the air, it's impossible to drop, to block. Look at that. Look at how high the ball goes.
So Cole Ford puts the 16th point on the board for the Oakland Raiders. And with 50 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter, the Raiders have put a little distance between themselves and the Arizona Cardinals, although I hesitate to say that too quickly because last week, of course, it was a very similar kind of thing. But and the deep men will be Matthews and Levy. Clarence Matthews, a running back. Levy was a running back, now a wide receiver. And Jager really sticks this one, and there will be no return. And I mean, he really stuck it, and there is not an appreciable wind down there. And coming through the fan as well. Stoney Case is the quarterback down there. He can scoot, flag down at the 30. 35 is going to come back at the 40-yard line, and that's much ado about nothing, because Stoney Case, who broke the play and turned it into a 20-yard gain, it's a chop block, and they're coming down on that. And the officials are really going to look at that too. Stoney Case, the guy that coaching staff here really thinks a lot of. LaShawn Johnson underneath doesn't get much. It'll be a gain of about 2 with 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. James Folston now in the ball game at an inside backer spot for the Raiders, makes the stop. And that play will bring the third quarter to a close. So we've now played 3 quarters, and the Oakland Raiders continue to lead it by 13. That was a pretty good quarter for the Raiders on both sides of the ball. It's Oakland 16, Arizona 3 at the end of 3 quarters. Back after these messages.
For 186 yards.
Well, Vince Tobin looking at a lot of young bodies now too. One of them is quarterback Stoney Case. This is a guy that can throw and can run. Not that time.
See, Stoney Case would be a great guy to be able to roll right, bootleg, and all those kind of things, and puts an awful lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Lance Johnstone was the guy who really did a job that time, and that's Johnstone's second sack, is it not?
Yes, he's been very impressive.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 23 now, and that, as you said, puts a lot of pressure on Stoney Case. There's no 23-yard plays.
They got a 4-man rush, 7 guys back, dropping back. See what kind of pressure they put on the quarterback, and they flush him out of the pocket and make him throw on the run.
And tried to throw underneath.
Yep.
For LaShawn Johnson, and couldn't do that either. So good defensive set for the Raiders. And again, number 51, Lance Johnstone, the 2nd-round draft choice out of Temple, continues to impress, Hank.
Yeah, he does. He does very, very definitely. And of course, in that situation, you know, with a running quarterback like they have, it's good with a 4-man rush to get him outside of the 4-man rush and let him roll and use the old Lawrence Welk offense. That 1, 2, 3, 4, hit the guy that's open in his zone, and you're going to make some yardage.
Player will hit this one out of his own end zone. Flag is down. Headed for Kenny Shedd. Fair catch at the 47-yard line. Now we'll see about the flag. 40-yard punt for Scott Player. And we'll see about this flag. Could be somebody left earlier, an illegal chuck, or why am I guessing? But I think we might do this again. Scott Player is a
Penalty is declined. 1st down, Oakland.
That's a good call, because they already got good field position. You never know what's going to happen if they kick it again.
Well, we'll take a timeout. 14:21 remaining. Raiders continue with good field position. They'll start things at the 47-yard line of the Cardinals when we come back in just a moment. As the Raiders play at home in the new and improved Coliseum against the Seattle Seahawks. And they'll be coming off what to this point has been an effective ball game.
And I'm excited about doing that game in Oakland, because I've heard so much about the facilities. I'm anxious to see it.
Dave Klingler in the ball game at quarterback, looking deep on 1st down and throws and unable to hold on. I think it was Andrew Glover down at the 10-yard line. Glover defended by Tony Jones.
I'm surprised they had him double. I'm surprised that he was covered so well, because normally they don't throw the ball to the tight end downfield that much. See, now, had he thrown it sooner, he didn't get rid of the ball quickly enough. Had he thrown it sooner, he had the defensive back licked. He had to stop and try to come back for the ball. By that time, the defense was able to recover and make the play.
2nd down and 10 now. Klingler straight back. throws underneath, and I mean underneath, and that was not a well-executed play. There's a real preseason play right there.
Well, that looked like a screen. We talked about a screen. It looked like a middle screen. This is the first time we've seen a screen of any kind all night.
Irvins was the receiver, and Alton Jones was in his face about the same time as the ball.
And with all those big linemen on defense and offense, sometimes it's very hard to really throw the ball to the receiver because you can't find him unless there's a lot of separation between him and the offensive line.
3rd down and 10 now. Kenyon Branscombe in the ball game for the first time. Comes to the near side. They go with a slot left. Truitt in the slot inside of Kenny Shedd.
Blitz.
Klingler straight back, throws, and unable to come back to the ball was Branscombe at about the 30-yard line, but Klingler was under siege, and the Raiders will have to give it up.
Yeah, they got a pretty good pass rush that time, and he had to get rid of the ball like he did, or else get sacked on the play.
It's only the 2nd punt that the Raiders have had today. First one, Gossett hit for 43 yards. A perfect punt, as a matter of fact. And he'll try to do, I would say, just about the same thing here.
He's an artist. He's an artist. As far as the kicker is concerned, boy, he really works at it and knows exactly what he's going to do, how he's going to do it. Got good technique, good drop. He drops the ball well on his foot.
Hits this one well, turns it over, and it gets out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. In fact, they're going to say the 1-yard line. You tell me how you can do it better than that.
You can't.
I mean, I'm sure Gossett's going off saying, boy, save those for September, October, and November, or better yet, even January. Terrific punt by Gossett. 46 yards and out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Back in a moment.
And he kicked it high enough and looked at helium in it.
West, Kansas City, you said they stayed pat with good reason. They won 13 games. Everybody else, I think, improved.
Well, you know, the thing about Kansas City, you have to realize, too, this is not taking it to their credit, but they won 4 games, I think it was, in overtime. So if you know, you're not going to do that very often. And if they didn't do that, then, of course, it's right back down to 10-6 with the other teams, and it's so evenly balanced, it's ridiculous.
And I really do think that that's the case. And one of the reasons we want you to pick up the phone and call, get some tickets for this 1996 Oakland Raiders football team. We got a flag down as we are now down to combinations of players who are not necessarily used to playing with one another, and as such there's going to be this kind of stuff.
And they're very enthusiastic. They're trying to make an impression, and sometimes they're over eager, and they make a mistake, jump offside, and those kind of things, which you see late in the 4th quarter.
You know, one thing that as a coach I'm sure you have to appreciate, and Mike White will certainly like this, the fact that this is the 5th Arizona drive that has started inside the 20-yard line. Field position so much of the game these days.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, if you play in a short field and the other guy plays in a long one, you're going to win that game. You could put Jesse Owens on the goal line and put Frankenstein on the other 20 and have a race, and Frankenstein's going to win the race for 20 yards, right?
That's true. Especially now, Jesse Owens is dead. Stoney Case will start at his half-yard line and will put it up out of the end zone, going deep, and nobody can catch up with this. Well, Stoney Case has not had the best of it for his short stint tonight. Stoney, incidentally, has got a brother named Stormy who plays quarterback at Texas A&M. And don't you know, I mean, these kids were destined to be either football players or meteorologists. This guy was the first guy in college football history, I'll tell you after this play, to give this time is to Deshaun Johnson. First guy in college history to pass for 8,000 yards and rush for 1,000 yards. And those are impressive numbers. I don't care where you're playing.
Yeah, that's right. If you play without in a bag game, that's a lot of yardage.
Well, they get it out to the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7. They go with a slot right. And Case rolling to his right out of the end zone and steps up, throws out of bounds. Intended for Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox, another veteran of the World League, played for the Rhein Fire in Dusseldorf. I'll tell you, the guys that played in the World League, the guys that played in Dusseldorf did not have as good a time as the guys who played in Barcelona.
Oh, they all love Barcelona.
Barcelona, they like London. The guys that played up at Edinburgh had a good time. They really became local heroes. They were living in Glasgow.
Yeah, you come back and you know, everybody comes back with glowing reports about that experience.
It was fun. I was over there for about 2.5 weeks. It was great fun.
Well, we were in Barcelona a couple of years ago and thought it was fantastic.
Good punt now that he outkicked the coverage. Here comes Truitt to the 40, to the 45, trying to get outside midfield at the 46-yard line of the Cardinals. Good return by Truitt and a big punt, 58 yards. It was Kenny Shedd on the return, I beg your pardon, not Truitt, and a flag is down at the 39-yard line.
And Shedd did a good job of being very definitive on that return. He knew exactly. He made up his mind. Right or wrong, you got to make a decision as a running back, and right or wrong, you got to make that cut and get up the field as soon as you possibly can, which he did.
Holding on the receiving team prior to gaining possession of the punt. We will penalize 10 yards from where possession was gained. First down.
Well, penalty number 12.
Yeah, and that's the worst possible situation for the Raiders, as it was a 58-yard punt, and they're not going to get this return by Kenny Shedd, and it's going to cost them 10 more. So that penalty, a costly one to the Raiders. It makes it a net 68 yards plus for the Cardinals. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Yes, he spent a lot of time here, and he should still be here because he did a very, very fine job with the Cardinals. Now he's doing a great job with the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders. I talked to him this afternoon, and he's very, very excited about the offensive linemen he's got. He thinks they're going to be developed and do a very good job.
Done a pretty good job. Here's another guy who's done a pretty good job. Did one last week against Dallas, and so far tonight, Wes Bender. A little bit more limited playing time, but he sure makes the most of it. Picked up 8 there. Cedric Davis made the stop.
Yeah, he moves the chains, doesn't he?
He's been around. This is his second year. 5'10", 235, blocking back predominantly at USC.
And somebody said to me that they were curious to know whether he can catch the ball. He caught a pass early in this game and caught it very easily.
Second down and a yard now. And again, it is Bender. And Bender's not going to get there this time. He's going to be stopped for a loss of about a half yard by Ronnie Woolfolk. I saw Woolfolk play a couple times in college, and he was a big-time player at Colorado. Has not quite developed as quickly in the NFL as some people might have expected.
That time the offensive line on the left side didn't get any push whatsoever, and as a result they didn't make the yardage on the play.
I think Woolfolk was an underclassman who came out. It might have been well advised to play his senior season at Colorado.
They'll run right, I suppose. Watch this. Play action.
Going to put it up. Klingler throws. Comebacker caught by Shedd. Shedd at midfield. 45 to the 40 and out of bounds the 36-yard line. Kenny Shedd on the reception, and Tony Jones ran him out, a gain of 26.
Good fake. Good timing on the execution of the pass. Watch the fake. Very good call. Fakes it. But not good enough fake. He didn't put the ball in the pocket of the ball carrier well enough, but it still held the linebackers. Got the ball outside nicely. A missed tackle by the defensive corner. He's finally knocked out of bounds after a nice gain in the play.
Ball at the 35-yard line. Klingler goes out of the I formation. Play fake, in trouble, has to roll away, looking for help, throws, and it's caught this time by Glover at the 27-yard line. And that's a very good play by Glover, just to come to his quarterback, and a very good recognition by the quarterback, Klingler.
Well, the escapability of Klingler on the last play was very, very outstanding, in that he got outside and he didn't. A lot of times quarterback, once they start to run, they think they have to continue to run. He ran with the idea of trying to get the ball to a receiver downfield. He found Glover, got on the ball, and picked up a nice gain in the play. A good alert play by Klingler.
Shedd in the slot to the left side, inside of Branscombe.
Got one-on-one on the left side. That's where they ought to throw the ball if they're going to throw it. Look at it. He's got one-on-one. Nope, they're running the ball right side. They pick up nice gain on the play.
For Wes Bender, who picked up more than enough for the first down. He'll take it down to the 23-yard line. David Merritt makes the stop. And Bender again just running hard. I mean, they give him the ball and he puts his head down and he gets yards. He's carried it 3 times for 13 yards tonight.
Yeah, all he does is move the chains.
If I were Derek Fenner, it might be a good idea to get healthy.
Slot left this time.
Give this time to Irvins right up the middle, and Irvins gets it down to the 12-yard line and another first down.
And what happens there, they have a slot to the left side, 2 receivers. It loosens up the linebacker on that side. And as a result, it creates a cavity between the guard and the tackle. And look at the nice hole. And watch him pop through there nicely. Look at this. Nobody touches him until he gets a nice gain on the play.
Kwame Lassiter finally puts him down at the 13-yard line. They go with the slot left again with Branscombe slotted inside of Kenny Shedd this time. Split backs behind Klingler, Jerome Davidson, and Ricky Irvins. And Klingler will put it up. Now he rolls, buys time, throws against the grain, throws it into the seats.
McCray was involved in the nice run on the previous play, and he did a very good job of pass protecting on the last play. Knocked the defensive end on the outside, maintained good position, especially for a tall guy like he is. And it's 6'6" or 6'7". But he did an extremely good job. And talking to Joe Bugle during the afternoon, he was very impressed with McCray. Thinks he's going to be a good one.
Now, it's interesting, too. And we'll mention this after this play. I don't want to forget. Irvins gets the ball and takes it down about the 6-yard line. Lincoln Kennedy right now is playing left guard. Or I beg your pardon, right guard.
Right guard, right.
So they move him from the tackle spot to the guard spot.
And of course he played guard, you know, for the Atlanta Falcons when he first came into pro football. He played left guard.
That is a big body to get out in front of a play.
Yes, it is.
This time 3 wide outs for the Raiders with Irvins the single setback. Shedd to the near side and Foster in the slot and now in motion. And Klingler gives to Irvins, and Irvins gets to the 5-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 1.5 yards, and the Raiders will just go ahead and kick this.
McCray was pulling, the left tackle was pulling on the play, along with the left guard on the play, which was Stevens, number 77.
I don't think McCray's going to want to see that play come back on film later this week. He didn't hit anybody.
No, he didn't.
This will be a 23-yard effort by Jeff Jager.
Looked like a screen pass.
And Jager drills this one. And the Raiders add to their lead. It is now a 19-3 ball game, and both kickers once again doing an excellent job, as both Cole Ford and Jeff Jager have been perfect at every aspect of the place kicking game. We'll be back in a moment. Yeah. What else is?
But I'd think about this very, very seriously about keeping both of those kickers, because, boy, they're hard to come by. And you lose one with a pulled muscle or something, and you're looking for the gas pipe, and you can't find one.
Well, that's exactly what happened last year.
Right.
Jager got hurt, and they had the luxury of being able to keep 2 kickers last year, but there's no question if they do have to cut one, somebody's going to snap him up in a big hurry.
Well, they'll pick him up like you suck him up with a vacuum cleaner.
It's going to be Fred Brock at the 5-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 30-yard line, 35, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Fred Brock, a rookie out of Southern Mississippi, trying to catch on, and Kenny Shedd ran him out.
You know, I talked about Gossett being such an outstanding athlete. Jager is also an excellent athlete. He played in high school, Kent High School in Kent, Washington, 5-sport letterman in wrestling, in football, in basketball, golf, and baseball. How about that?
Well, it's you know, there's a history of kickers on this Raider team being good athletes. There was a guy, wore number 8 here for many years, who played against you, who every player on that team will tell you was the best athlete on the team. That's Ray Guy.
Ray Guy, and of course we had a great athlete in Gerald Wilson.
Exactly. Oh, Jan Stenerud was a good athlete.
Well, Jansky is still playing golf and playing at Oregon, you know, around the country playing golf. That cash register.
Not a bad deal.
Nope.
Mark Butterfield is now the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, guy that I had the pleasure of seeing quite a lot of in college. Throws a nice ball. There is a wrap on Mark Butterfield at his foot speed, but he's a prototypical NFL quarterback in terms of size and arm. Hung in there and got it off to Kevin Knox, who made the catch at the 44-yard line.
It's pretty hard to be a quarterback. I don't care what kind of arm you have in the National Football League if you're a gumshoe. You know, you got to be able to move around the pocket, escape the pressure and all those kind of things. And those are the kind of guys that help your team tremendously.
Threw that one, and having a good read on it that time was Carl Kidd, who almost picked it. The other thing you have to be able to do is look off your receiver.
Right.
Pass was intended that time for Kevin Jordan, another product of the Pac-10 at UCLA, broke all of J.J. Stokes records. And Player will come on to punt it away again. Kenny Shedd will be the deep man for the Raiders. Shedd had a good run back that was called back for a penalty last time. 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in this ball game. And Player hits this one pretty good. Shedd runs up, calls for a fair catch, and makes it at the 17-yard line, and a late flag comes down. 38 yards on the punt, no return. We'll check the penalty when we come back. 6:02 remaining, and we'll be back in a moment.
Look at the yardage, 375 for the Raiders. Cardinals 101. Big advantage, and they had a big advantage last week even against the Cowboys.
But the one that jumps out, 13 penalties against the Raiders now. And they'll start at the 8. Klingler still the quarterback with Bender the lone setback. Klingler play fake, will pass. Airs it out deep. Shedd's out in front. And Shedd really takes a shot. Big time shot. Klingler floated that ball toward the middle of the field and allowed the safety to come over to really crack him.
Yeah, you got to keep it on the outside and keep away from that safety, or else, you know, a safety, when the ball's in the air and a long pass, he can cover 20 yards while the ball's in the air.
And that was exactly what happened there, and Shedd paid the price.
It looked like it was supposed to be a play action pass without any fake whatsoever. Faking on it was terrible. See, he came right into the safety. Safety didn't even have to run very far. He ran right into him, but the ball was thrown inside, and he had to go after it and try to make the catch.
This is Bender at the right side, gets across the 10 to the 11-yard line, picked up 3 on the play. (19-3) ball game. Raiders lead, 5:33 remaining. Kenyon Branscombe comes to the near side, and to the far side goes Kenny Shedd. Foster comes in the slot. Glover is the tight end. Bender the lone setback. David Klingler the quarterback. Blitz comes. Throw over the middle, caught by Foster once again. And I'll tell you, Foster making a real case for himself here. Not an easy catch. Picks it up and gives the Raiders a first down at the 23-yard line. Terry Irving was putting a pretty good push that time on Klingler.
But here again, you have to credit the quarterback throwing it right where it had to be thrown. Inside pattern, look at it. Right about the numbers. He gets it right about shoulder pad high, but he caught it in stride, and a big first down for the Raiders.
Give this time is to Bender, and Bender gets across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, gain of 3. Tommy Jeter, Tony Jones on the tackle. Jones, a free agent from Carolina.
Here's that shot again. Going through the hole, gets as much out of the play as he possibly can with a good lean.
You can't make extra yardage if you're not leaning and a good finishing runner. Look at one-on-one on the outside. That's where you ought to throw the ball if he throws it. Look at left side.
They give it to Irvins, and Irvins gets a yard or so.
Well, that time they had a slot to the left side, but the linebacker didn't reduce very far. He was still inside, so you had an extra man. You had a block, and he didn't get a good surge, and for that reason, didn't pick much yardage on the play.
Alton Jones and Ronnie Woolfolk on the tackle. Jeff Hostetler just enjoying the game. He's perfect on the year so far. Hasn't had an incomplete pass yet.
That's including the pregame warm-up.
That's right.
Well, let's see if they run this time. They run to the right side. It's 3rd and 7. They might pump it up.
Shed.
Now they're going to play action.
Look out. Klingler hit as he throws, going for Shad, and Shad again in traffic. Well covered that time. Unable to come up with it, but Klingler threw it where the only man that was going to get it was Kenny Shedd.
I think 3rd and 7. Yeah, 3rd and 7. You're not going to fool anybody with a play action pass. You're better off to just go back in the pocket where you have plenty of time, get back in the pocket, throw the ball downfield, rather than take the time to fake, and they don't pay any attention to the fake.
So Jeff Gossett will come on to punt. He's been one of the stars of the ball game. Chuck Levy will be the deep man, and Levy can really go. Finally found a position for Levy. He was a quarterback. He was a running back in college. Comes up, lets this ball go, and it will fall dead at the 33-yard line. 41-yard punt, an effective punt by Gossett. No return. That's where the Cardinals will put it in play with 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in this ball game. We have a flag procedure call against the Raiders, and I would have to think the Cardinals will just get on with things here.
Illegal formation. Only 6 men on the line. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 4th down.
Well, we are going to do this again.
Yeah, I thought they would possibly decline that penalty, or take the penalty, I mean. Watch Gossett back in his kicking stance, how intent he is, good balance, knees bent, focused on the ball, and watch how quickly he too gets rid of the football when he kicks it. Watch it.
Cardinals are going to play this one with 10 guys. Now they bring somebody else out. Dowdle is now the deep man.
See, a 2-step drop.
Turns it over. Dowdle might have a chance here at the 30-yard line. Sidesteps one man, still on his feet at the 35, and gets the 36-yard line. 48-yard punt by Gossett, 7-yard return, net 41. That's where we were about 20 seconds ago.
See, now here again, Gossett, two steps, kick, gets the ball away. Had the receiver, had the rusher come across his foot out in front like he should have, he would have been, that kick would have been blocked.
Hurt his shoulder too. He landed right.
Right. The 2-step dropper.
Fiegels.
Right. He kicks with 2 steps.
Butterfield
interception.
Right into the hands that time of Dan Land, and Land still on his feet at the 20, at the 15, flag down at the 5, touchdown Raiders. Now we'll see what the flag is. 45-yard return from Dan Land, but it may come back. And a clip, I believe, is going to be the call. Butterfield threw that one right to Land.
Holding. After the interception, number 74, 10-yard penalty. 1st down, Oakland.
And there again. And now it's Montez at quarterback. He did the job last week, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And it took a lot of courage for Mike White to keep him in the ball game the way the game was. You know, they had a chance to win the game, and I thought perhaps he might put the #1 quarterback. Yeah, they were, but they were a 7-man zone defense, and they had not worked on that very much at all, and that's why it created a problem. Tight end on the left side, they probably should, hey, they got an opening on the left side. That's where they should have run if they're going to run.
Shed comes in motion to the left side. Montez going to put it up. Throws over the middle, caught by Kenny Shedd. Ball was a little behind him. Shedd did a nice job to keep it in his grasp, and he will pick up a first down at the 21-yard line.
They got exactly. He went deep enough, just enough to get the yardage. Good protection up front.
Has his team at the 21-yard line again, and they give us to Ricky Irvins, and Irvins slipping tackles inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Montez went to.
They overshifted to the right. They ought to run left if they're going to run.
Second down and 4, and they give it to Ricky Irvins again, and Irvins cuts back and almost sprung it. Got down to the 11-yard line. Going to be close to a first down.
And that was.
Stop it again. Give it to Irvins once again, and Irvins has the first down to the 9-yard line with 40 seconds remaining, and a flag is down. The ball down at the 5-yard line. They give it to Bender. Bender taking bodies with him into the end zone for a Raiders touchdown. And that was just Wes Bender.
And Davison did a good job, number 41, of blocking on the play.
Well, Bender has seen significant action in the first 2 preseason games and has given Mike White and his staff no reason to sit him.
No, that's right. He's done a terrific job of taking advantage of an opportunity in both games that we've seen him play. And as I mentioned, Davison did a good job of blocking number 48 on the play.
Jager tries to add the 26th point and knocks that one through handsomely. And with 34 seconds remaining in the ball game, the Raiders now lead it by a 26-3 count, and the crowd.
And that in itself is a big plus.
Lincoln Kennedy was impressive tonight because really we watched him on several plays, and he's playing with one arm. At the 10, at the 20, and down to at the 30-yard line, a fumble, and the Raiders have it back with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see if that's true or not. It looked like he might have been down when he fumbled the ball, and the ground can't cause a fumble. Let's see.
Fred Brock was the man who will take a knee, and he does, and that should be it. I don't believe the Raiders will have to snap the ball again. They won't. And the Raiders come away on the long end of a 26-3 count. And once again, you start looking back on individual performances, and certainly Jeff Hostetler and his one quarter of action, actually just one drive, was absolutely perfect. 4 for 4 for 80-some yards. The guys that jumped out at me, Sean Foster caught 5 balls for 75 yards. Truitt again I thought was impressive, and again you got to like Wes Bender and certainly Ricky Irvins, as well as the offensive line, too deep on either side.